Hi, it's Wendy. Welcome to my channel and to this next video in the Absolute Beginners series. If you've been following me through the beginners videos, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Today we're going to be talking about how to increase and decrease in crochet. So I've got just a simple single crochet piece here with 12 stitches in it. And when you're increasing, essentially you're just adding stitches. When you're decreasing, you're removing stitches somehow. And there are different ways to do that. In some patterns, especially amigurumi, they are telling you to INC or DEC. So INC for increase, DEC for decrease. So your pattern, for example, might say single crochet 2. We'll do 2. And then INC for increase. And that means put an extra stitch in the next stitch. So I'm going to do 2 stitches, single crochets, in the next space. So now on top of my 3 single crochets, I have 4. So I've increased by 1. And if I were to do that all the way across, single crochet 2, increase, over my 12 stitches, I would increase quite a bit. But there's something else that happens too. I'll show you when I get there. You can see that my piece has started to curve because I have more stitches. So when you're increasing and decreasing, not only does it change your number of stitches, but it shapes the work. So it's going to be larger and add a curve to it if you increase, and it's going to curve in if you decrease. So I've gone from 12 stitches to 16 in this row. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. In the next row, let's say for example it told me to single crochet 2 and decrease. So to decrease you need to put 2 stitches together. So in these next 2 single crochets, I'm going to do a single crochet 2 together. And it's abbreviated SC number 2 TOG, single crochet 2 together. That means the same thing in many patterns as DEC or decrease. And it's done like this. You go into your work and pick up a loop, just like you were going to make a single crochet. But don't pull that last pull through, okay? Just leave it with the 2 strands on your hook. Then go into the next one, pick up another loop so that you have 3, then yarn over and pull through all 3. So now your 2 single crochets have become 1 single crochet because you did 2 of them together. I'll show you that again. So I'm going to do just 2 plain single crochets, and I'll decrease in the next 2 stitches. So draw up a loop in the first stitch, draw up a loop in the second stitch, draw up a loop and go through 3. So that makes a decrease. Now, there are other ways to make an increase and a decrease because, like I said, it just means adding or subtracting stitches. So if I were to do a chain 1 and then single crochet in the next stitch, I've added a stitch, and that's my chain 1. So your pattern might ask you to do that. Anytime you are adding a stitch, you are increasing. So if I added a single crochet, or sorry, a chain in between each of these single crochets, I would be adding stitches. So now these 3 have actually got a chain each beside them or before them. So my 3 stitches are now 6. So if you count back from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's the first chain stitch that I did. So that's another way to increase. Conversely, you can decrease by skipping a stitch without adding any stitch. So if I skip this next single crochet and just single crochet into the next one, that also decreases and will cause the work to curve in. So generally on a pattern, if they are saying decrease, you do what I showed you before, where you put 2 together. But your pattern may also say skip a stitch and work in the next one, and that serves kind of the same purpose. So it depends on your pattern. So those are the main ways to increase and decrease. When you are working in a double crochet, I'm going to turn and do a couple of double crochets. A double crochet decreases in a similar way. So if I wanted to decrease over these next 2 stitches, which is a single crochet and a chain 1, I could do the same idea with a double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and just like a regular double crochet, yarn over and pull through 2. But I'm not going to do the second pull through. Okay, normally I do 2 and 2, right, for a double crochet. I'm going to start the next double crochet, yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and go through 2. Now that I've got 3 on my hook, one that was originally there, one that belongs to the first double crochet I did, and one that belongs to the second double crochet, I can draw a loop through all 3 of them. And that is a double crochet 2 together. And again, it's decreasing because it turns 2 double crochets into 1 double crochet. I'll show you again. Start your first double crochet, pull up a loop, draw through 2, leave it there, yarn over, go through your work, draw up a loop, go through 2. Now you have 3, pull through all of them. Now you might want to decrease by 2 if you were turning a sharper curve. You could do that the same way. Start your double crochet, don't finish it, leave the last one on the hook. Start another one, just pull through 2, don't finish it, and start a third one. Same thing. Now you're going to have 4 on the hook. That's a double crochet 3 together. Draw up a loop and pull it through all 3 double crochets. And you've turned 3 double crochets into 1 stitch. Now this stitch here, which is way at the beginning, that's the one that belongs to these 3 double crochets. And again, if you were going the other direction, you could decrease. Well, I'll do a couple here just to... If I wanted to decrease, I could just skip a stitch and go into the next one. That would also be a decrease. And you can see how when I'm doing all this increasing and decreasing, it's making my piece curvy and wavy. So that's how you're going to shape your work, with increases and decreases. Just following the instructions and working it so that it curves in or out. When you're making a circle, and I would suggest you check my perfect circle video, in order to stay flat but get larger, you need to increase on each round as you're getting bigger. If you don't increase, you're going to end up with a bowl or a cup shape instead of a circle. So the increases have to be in proportion to the size of the circle. So if you're struggling with circles, pop on over to that video and check that one out. So that's it for your basic increases and decreases. If there's something else that you are not sure how to do with crochet, drop me a comment and maybe I can make a video about that too. Thanks very much. Have a super day.